Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room and join us. Join us. Hey, is UGC in the house? Is UGC in the house? Present and accounted for. I like that. You are present and accounted for. That is good. We want to be present and accounted for. That we definitely do. You're here for today's lesson. I love it. I love it. Have all of you subscribed to the new UGC website? Are you all members of it? If you are not, because I have some people coming in requesting approval of their membership, but they don't have any, their avatar isn't a picture. I don't know if you're male or female. And listen, if I don't recognize your name, your email, you have no picture up, and I can't discern whether you're male or female, then you're going to be declined. So if you have to reintroduce yourself to me, you can always send me an email, info@theuglygirlsclub.com, and let me know who you are, so I can know what your email address is and who I'm talking to, because I'm not for no bull with this new site and what I want to do exclusively for site members itself. I'm not entertaining looky-loos. I'm not entertaining people that are curious. I'm not entertaining men who think we're selling ass, who think we're selling ugly snatch, because there's some of these guys out here think we're running some kind of OnlyFans site for ugly girls or something like that, like we selling ass. So to eliminate all of that, listen, come right, have your name, your Facebook account. I need to see faces, actual faces. I need to know you're a female, and all of that. If all the check marks are not checked, then you don't enter. You don't enter. You can be here in fellowship with us out here in the open on YouTube, where anybody could come see me. But the UGC site is for UGC girls. Not any of you girls who think you're pretty, who think under normal circumstances you're too good for the rest of us, and you just want to vamp. Take the information and vamp on us. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Y'all digest a lot of information out here, and when you're ready to pull rank, you do. At a moment's notice, when you're ready to pull rank and say, well, I don't have ugly girls problems, but you're here. You're not an ugly girl with ugly girls problems, but you're here. My only focus, I'm not interested in you ugly souls. Go find a priest for that. I'm interested in women who understand that how they rank socially, either because you're overweight, they say you're too dark, your features are too strong. Oh, come on, y'all know. Y'all know. And I'm talking to women who've heard this all their lives. You know who I'm talking to. It's a very small group of us. I'll tell you this. A lot of dudes are mad that I'm putting y'all up on game. A lot of dudes are mad. A lot of sisters in their feelings. A lot of people like, what gives you the right, Selkis? Who do you think you are to let y'all know that they're full of shite? They're real mad about that. And they could be in their feelings all they want to, but we have a right to live. I liken this group, the UGC group, I liken us to the LGBT community. We're kind of fighting for the same rights, the same quality of life as other minority groups. Like we're a minority within a minority within a minority of a minority, so to say. And we're really fighting for our right to live and be happy. to be respected and protected, just like any other woman. That's what we want. We want what the pretty girls enjoy. We want what every other woman enjoys, right? We're not trying to be anybody's footstool for the rest of our lives. We don't want the enslaved to enslave us. A lot of y'all dudes are slaves yourselves, and you want to enslave us too. You want to trap our wombs. We the real trap houses out here. Women that you don't like, that's a trap house right there. She's trapped. So we're trying to level up the playing field in our own quiet little way by saying, we're entitled to whatever it is that we want. Yeah, come in close. Come in close. We are entitled to whatever it is that we want, just like any other woman. So UGC, the book is actually in the hands of the editor right now. So we are going to have our Ugly Girls Survival Guide, How to Become a Puppet Master. We're going to have that in print in the near future. And I'm excited about that. For those of you who want inclusion in it and want to submit your testimonials along with your pictures so people can see that you're a real person, please send it in so you can be a part of that. So you can be a part of history, actually. Nobody's doing what I'm doing. Hello. Nobody's doing what I'm doing. They're encouraging you. They're saying, wear better lipstick, get a better girdle, and you'll get a better result. That's the prescription that everyone else is giving you. Nobody's doing this, helping you to level up, helping you realize who you are in the way that I'm doing. Very unorthodox. Very unorthodox. But so necessary and so needed. Because we chase other people's approval, and the gag is, and the secret to all of this is, you know what the secret is? You don't ever get it. You don't really get anybody's approval. They like you for what you give them. That's not approval. That's usury. And I'm not even saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm saying it's human nature. So the approval that you're seeking, you never get it. You never get it. So I want you, UGC, to stop wasting your time and your entire life trying to conform when the verdict, the sentencing has already been passed as soon as someone sees your face, right? This is true. But there are ways to mitigate that. There are ways of getting around that. And a lot of times, the results that we get from our interactions with people are because we agree with what they think of us. Can y'all write that down? A lot of times, the results of the interactions that you have with people, and in particular men, is because you agree with what they think of you. Hello? If you didn't agree, how do you get used if you don't agree? How do you get used and manipulated without agreeing to something? You have to agree to whatever it is they're deciding to give you or not give you. You have to be a comrade in manipulation. You have to be a subordinate in manipulation. He has to convince you to think like him. To think whatever he thinks of you, he has to convince you that what he thinks of you is right. So it requires your support. It requires your support. Being unattractive makes life hard. It makes life harder for us as women. It does. It does. But what makes it hard is our compliance. What makes it hard is our agreement. What makes it hard is our lowering our standards and allowing people to come into our lives to misappropriate our vaginas. That's what makes it hard. That's what makes it hard. And the ones of us who don't allow people to misappropriate, a lot of you are virgins or, newly celibates, and you're dealing with, the whole aspects of not having intimate relationships with men, and you think you're missing out on something there too. But when you think about it, when you really think about it and analyze it, if the guy doesn't have your best interests at heart, what are you missing? Abuse? Heartache? Prescriptions for infections and different things that other women battle with, who allow people in? What are you really missing? When you compare yourself to seasoned women, and you hear seasoned women who are honest talk about how much regrets they've had, what are you really missing? What are you really missing? This thing with Jada Pinkett Smith is still in the hot seat. I don't know when this thing is going to die down. I think a lot of people are in their feelings. A lot of people are emotional about what has transpired. I guess because it's so relatable. In long-term relationships, infidelity seems to cohabitate with long-term relationships, especially on the men's side. Like I broke it down in the last live, that basically in a relationship, if you're with a guy long enough, he gets tired of you. He may still care about you, but he's familiar with you. There's no longer a need, a desire. A desire is a need. A desire is just you wanting something you can't have. And if the person has had you, they no longer desires you. So it's a conflict, and it's a tug of war there when you're with somebody for a long time, to keep the fires burning, as they say, to keep things hot. Why is it such a struggle for people who've been together a long time to keep things hot? Why? Because there's no need to desire what you already have. That's why. So it's always going to be a struggle. But I find it interesting that Jada is not getting a reprieve at all. And even women, the way women describe her as a witch and a warlock and a predator and all kinds of things. I'm like, we're talking about two adults here. Granted, after I did that live about Jada, someone brought to my attention that August was actually her son's friend, I think. And I don't know. That whole situation is crazy. You bring home somebody who has health issues, drug issues, and all that, to nurse him back to health. I mean, if I had a son, he couldn't bring home nobody who needed to be in a hospital for me to take care of. Find a group home or something for the dude. You couldn't bring nobody to my house and like, Mom, could you help him out? No. I can donate to a charity on his behalf. I can do that, but invite somebody in. But that's neither here nor there. But the thing of it is, it's two adults, and she was separated from her husband when this thing happened, and they had come to an understanding that the relationship was basically over. I mean, that's what they stated at when they went to the table with it, to the red table with it. Will said, he was done with her, and she thought that he was done with her. She thought their relationship was over. So, to comfort herself, and to make herself feel good, after not feeling good for a long time, and whatever that means, because that can mean so many things, not just sexual, you know? That can mean so many things. She took it upon herself to have an entanglement with this young man. But when we look at how many of these celebrity men cheat on their wives, cheat on their girlfriends, I mean, it's almost, it's really, it's not surprising because it's so common. How many celebrity guys you know dipped out and had whole babies, whole nother families when they had affairs outside of their marriages and relationships with young women, 18-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls, all 20-year-old girls and all that, and they were never called predators. They were never called predators. They were called men with big appetites. They were called men, powerful men who could do what they want to do. That's what they were called. And for all intents and purposes, all these men are forgiven. The bag is not stopped for them. Nobody canceled any of them. Nobody's canceled any of them. But the moment a woman steps out and decides to get what she can get wherever she can get it at, we're ready to, put our head on to the guillotines. We're ready to put her head to the guillotine. So I found it interesting, especially with, a lot of sisters like, she's wicked and she's this. I'm like, y'all sperm guzzlers got all of this to say? I mean, he without sin cast the first stone, why don't you? Like, for real? All the vitriol from other women. I'm surprised when y'all Sunday school hoes. When y'all your second job is that of a hoe. You supplement your income sucking off people and doing virtual reality Zoom dances and all kinds of stuff to pay your mortgage and everything. You talking about who's corrupt? Oh, come on, man. Come on. Women, y'all breaking code here. Y'all breaking code. Things happen, and I'm not saying it's any of this is right. But to make it like an unforgivable thing, when y'all give a pass to men get away with all kinds of shit. Men destroy the lives of women. Destroy it. And still get forgiven. Why is that? Because they insert, you receive, they can insert themselves in you, and you're the receptacle, so that they have more power than us. Is that why men are able to get away with what they get away with? Because they have penises? Jada admitted that, dude dipped out on her. Will is not a saint. Maybe everybody he screwed signed an non-disclosure agreement. Maybe he was smart enough to not leave a trail and not leave it so messy. Maybe that's what it was. But he's not unscathed in this thing. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have done that. I'm like, come on, y'all. Oh, she's, hit the wall. Of course, it's the hit the wall thing, and she's so old, and chicks are saying that. She's so old. Why she's too old to be doing that. And some of the chicks I'm watching say this, I'm like, really? You? How? You saying that? You? When you're pretty much in the same boat. You. I don't get it. And then the word on the street is now that, we don't allow men to, we're shaming men for their preferences now. That, that's going on. Because y'all seen who's the dude that recently, another one, made headlines for asking the question of why people think Jill Scott is sexy or attractive or something like that, something to that effect. And I'm like, here we go again. So I mean, listen, black women. This is basically what men are doing to clout chase. They are saying that all they got to do is say that we're unattractive, and they get a little traction, they get more clicks, they get more YouTube ad money, whatever it is they get, whatever consolation prize they get. All they got to do is say, well, black women are not as this or that or the third. And of course, the argument is, Jill is a fluffy woman, and he didn't understand what the appeal was about her. Now, what Jill did to him? She's handling quarantine. She wearing a face mask. She laying low just like everybody else. She trying to make a coin. Charging y'all a dollar for virtual concerts, just like Erica Badu and all the rest of them. Everybody just trying to survive the quarantine. What's she do? Why you put her name in your mouth? Like, what's the goal? What's the goal, guys? What's the goal of this? Y'all always got something to say about the way about the way a woman looks. Y'all always got something to say. Jill is living her life, probably taking her herbs, trying to stay healthy out here, trying to not get sick out here. And here you go putting her name in your mouth. Like, for what? What is the point? But it's an easy clout for men these days. And then of course they're saying, well, we shame them for liking what they like and wanting what they want. As far from my standpoint, the discussion about looks, men, oh Lord, men are really vocal about it. And that's the first thing they talk about dealing with anything with women. The first thing men talk about is looks. If they want to evaluate anything about us, they can't do it without mentioning how we look, or how a particular woman looks. So, that's part and parcel. That's part and parcel with this whole thing. So this is why I say you can't win. And you shouldn't try to run in that race, because you can't win. You just can't win. You don't know who's for you and who's not until they prove themselves. And this is why you have to vet men in the first place. This is why you have to take your time. This is why you shouldn't be screwing anybody for recreational purposes. I told y'all before, UGC, that your vagina is an instrument to disperse charity. Your vagina is an instrument to disperse charity. And what you give when you open your legs it never equates to what he gives you. It can't. It can't. You have to see it as charity, not as an exchange. Not as an exchange. It's never that. These men have a lot to say about a woman's worth and value. And I think if we were to go tit for tat and blow for blow, I don't think men would be able to really handle it. I think women close their mouths a lot to keep the peace. We tend to stroke egos, to keep the money flowing, keep the bills paid, keep the arguments down, keep compliance, and for the most part, keep the quality of life bearable. But if women were as honest as these men are, there'd be a lot of hurt feelings out here. There would be a lot of hurt feelings out here. Can y'all still see me? I'm not seeing anything new in the chat. Y'all let me know if you can hear me, if I'm still live. Someone just say hello or something. Let me know I'm still on. because I'm not seeing. Nothing's coming through. Oh man, I can't see the comments, y'all. Damn. If y'all are saying something, I don't know what's going on with my chat bar. I can't see anything. Maybe it'll start working again. So that's pretty much what it is with all of that. It's a race. You'll never win with men. They like you today, they don't like you tomorrow. You start off one way. If you change, it's a problem, and that's what it is. A man's love is contingent upon a lot of things, even though they blame us for being superficially motivated or financially motivated, hypergamous, or whatever you want to call it. Men can't evaluate your value without including how you look. So, it goes both ways. One doesn't have a monopoly on spiritual matters over the other, I feel, right? Men certainly don't. They say women can't love, but they can't love either. A man's love for you is conditional. It's conditional. A lot of men's argument is, well, they're not with, the most beautiful women in the world, so they can look past certain things and all that. And that, I don't argue any of that, but it's still conditional. It's still conditional. And when you are an unattractive woman, guess what, ladies? Guess what, UGC? When you're an unattractive woman, everything is even more conditional than that. Everything about you is conditional. And everything about you is more so a take it or leave it. It's hard to lock people in because they don't have a sense of duty for you. They don't have a sense of, I have to save you, I have to protect you. That instinct that men have for feminine women, delicate women, let me take you under my wing kind of thing. There's no instinct for that with women that are hard in the face, let's say. That instinct in them doesn't activate. So everything about you is conditional. And why should you embrace that? Why should that even not be a bad thing? It shouldn't be a bad thing because you know the truth. It shouldn't be a bad thing because when you're ready to state what you want, you shouldn't hesitate. You shouldn't feel guilty or feel like you are compelled for fairness and all that, because nobody's going to be fair to you. You have to require it. You have to demand it. You have to create conditions where they have no choice but to be a certain way for you. And you have to be a little more calculated than the average beautiful woman. Problem with us is that we're unattractive, so then we reach for compliance. To a fault. We go, well, if I'm unattractive, at least I could just do whatever you ask me to do, and then maybe you'll love me then. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You dig the hole. You dig the hole for yourself. You dig the hole. And what men come to you with is a guilt trip. Yeah. You get the guilt trip more so than any other woman. You get the, well, you should be lucky. You should be lucky. I'm even texting you. Or I'm even insinuating that I want to buy you a sandwich and a Big Gulp. You should be happy for anything that I give you. If I say hello, that's worth dollars and cents right there. Just to say hello to you. And it's a mess. Y'all, I can't see none of my comments. It's jacked up. Let me see. Okay, I think I see it now. All right, let's see what y'all saying. But what if they accuse us of being aggressive because we want the following you just stated. What accuse you of being aggressive? It's your delivery. Nobody can accuse you of being aggressive if your demeanor and your temperament is calm. You don't have to be what's the word? Abrasive. You don't have to curse. You don't have to wag your finger in anybody's face and make demands in anger. That's not effective communication anyway. You don't have to do that. You don't. They ask you what you're looking for, you could state what you want. And when they challenge it, which if you're an unattractive woman, the things that you desire will be challenged. More often than not, they'll say, well, why do what makes you think you're worth that? I don't think, I think you should reach for something lower. I think that's what they'll say. And when someone insinuates that, or maybe sometimes they say directly, well, I don't really think you should shoot that high. And you got to turn around and say, well, what do you mean? Do you feel that what I'm asking for is something that you're incapable of doing? Like sometimes you just got to be straight up. Like I'm talking to you right now, and they say, well, you don't deserve that. You ask them why. Why do you think that? Ask them to explain themselves. Explain why it is you feel that I shouldn't have this, or that I can't have this thing. And when they try to explain, which they'll do a lousy job of doing, because then that exposes their motive. So there's going to be a lousy comeback for that. They're going to divert, deflect, gaslight, expect all of that. And, veer them right back to the point. Well, no, Brad, let's stick to the point here. You're stating that you don't feel that I'm worth XYZ, even though you've stated that you've given these things to other women. You're stating that for me, I'm being unreasonable in wanting these things. And I want to hear from you why. Why is that? Is it because you don't want to do that for me? Is it because you can't afford to do that for me? Is it because you feel that I'm not attractive enough for this thing? Ask them to explain themselves. Take the mystery and the innuendo out of conversations with these men. When you're unattractive, you can do that, ladies. Pretty women can play coy. Because for the most part, the guy generally is interested in him. But for women like you and me, there's no reason to play coy. But you could be direct and very soft. You can still be feminine and direct. Don't do the coy thing. There's no point to that, because you've already been tried and hung. Based on how you look, you've already been tried and found guilty already. I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm saying to you what these men are not going to admit, what your girlfriends won't admit about you, and everybody's holding the secret because they can borrow money from you and they get you to watch their kids for free, or whatever it is they're extracting from you. You've already been tried and proven. So be direct. Do it with sweetness. Like, sir, what do you mean? We may not have another date again, but I just want some clarification on what it is that you mean. Because if it really means that you're incapable of doing that, I would love for you to be honest about that. Is this just a deal? Is this a transaction here? Are we doing a transaction here? Do you like me and do you want to see where it goes, or is this a transaction that you're trying to get the cheapest rate for? Because if it is, let me in on it, so we can negotiate properly. You don't even have to give me another date. I'll tell you what my price is, and you tell me if you can afford it. And of course, you're playing games. You ain't gonna lay down unless you are a hoe. You ain't really negotiating for no hoe ride. But you say it straight. Cut the mustard. Cut the chase. Cut the chase. And I'm only speaking in terms of when they start downplaying you and you're hearing that language. When you're hearing them insinuate that you think you're all of that. That's when you swoop in with what do you mean, sir? Then what is this date actually about? Because we don't need another date. If the goal is just, to sleep with me for a couple of dollars, let me know now. If you're saying that I'm not good enough, if you're implying that I'm not good enough, then let's negotiate properly. Let's negotiate properly. When you're an unattractive woman, compliments need to roll off your back. You need not believe them. It doesn't benefit you to believe things that could be false. So you remain neutral on compliments. You remain neutral. That's how you help yourself. That's how you vet. You just remain neutral on things that you cannot prove. Can you write that down, ladies? I'm teaching y'all today. Remain neutral on things, about things you cannot prove. I'm trying to save some of y'all a lot of grief. I'm trying to save y'all a lot of grief by really telling you the cold hard facts here. The cold hard facts. Yes, Lola, write that down. Is the painting behind you for sale? Actually it is. This is my baby right here. She's on sale. She's on sale as the original and as a giclée fine art reproduction, which is also hand painted as well. So basically, it'll look like an actual real painting if you get that, artist grade fine art print, which I do offer as well. You can always email me from my art boutique, Selkis at iloveherart.com. And let's talk about you getting either the original or a fine art replica. Fine art reproduction of her. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know, maybe some of you are here for the first time, I'm an artist, an author, a poet, a relationship expert, a spiritual advisor, a life coach, and medicine woman. I do a lot of things, all therapeutic modalities. All of them serve a therapeutic purpose, including the artwork itself. And I use creative means to help women heal. I consider myself very, very spiritual, but very grounded as well. I like the truth, even if it's painful. I think it's beneficial. So that's how I roll. I deal with things that are very hard to admit, but to me, they'll liberate you. To me, the things that are hard to accept are the ones that'll break you free. And that's how I coach. That's how I coach women. Selfish, do we have to re-register for the new site? Yes, you have to become a member of the site, of the new site. The old one is gone, so you have to now become a member of the new site if you want to have access to the Yeah, I'm going to be doing live videos directly streaming from the site itself, and you have to become a member to have access to that. I also have catalogs of videos that will only be available on the site that used to be up here, that are no longer, that are blocked from here. All the content will be moving to the site itself, so you will be able to access those as well as new content that I'm not putting up on YouTube either. So make sure you become a member of the site. There is a subscription fee for the Video Vault section of the site. It's $10 a month to have access to that portion of the site. But again, you'll be able to talk to me live. Any suggestions for content will be considered, seriously considered there. And yeah, so if you have content suggestions, things that you want me to talk about, becoming a member will get that actualized, and that's the way that goes. What is the new site? It's still the uglygirlsclub.com. It's the same domain name, it's just the interface and the whole structure of it is different. So I am accepting member testimonials to actually be featured on the site for people to see. Y'all don't realize how encouraging your words are. Y'all gotta know that your words, your experience, your stories are encouraging for other women to see. We are a small coalition of women, a very small group of women who are owning this thing called ugly. Do y'all realize this? Not many other women, hardly any other women can do that. You know what kind of balls that takes? Do you know what kind of kahunas that actually takes to divest from that whole wanting people to see you that way, or pretending that you are that way for other people to maybe respect you because you're saying that you like yourself and you think you're pretty, and you know that game. To divest from all of that and say, listen, I'm fine, and I'm still fine the way that I am. It's only a small group of women. But I have taught women off the ledge. There are women that have come to me suicidal that are still living right now because of the information that I transmitted to them. And y'all gotta know, y'all are a part of this thing. Y'all are a part of this thing. Y'all are gonna save somebody's lives too. Because it may not be how I say it that they need to hear it. Maybe it's your story that'll solidify them, that'll keep them off the ledge. Hearing it from you because you look just like them, or you talk just like them, or you're from the same town as them, or whatever it is. We don't know how we're gonna touch people out here. We don't know how we're gonna touch people out here. And that's real. So don't discount that or discredit or feel that you have nothing to add here. Don't discredit your own power. So just watching your content is seriously like sitting in a safe, warm, quiet place, listening and interacting with people. Get me and I get them. Aw. That's good. That's what I want it to be. That is what I would like for it to be. I don't want y'all to feel intimidated by these men. This is all day long. You have a lot of lonely men out here. A lot of disgruntled, wounded, lonely, abused, disqualified men out here that that turn discrediting you into a business. They've turned clowning you into a coin. And men as well as women love what they do. They love their platforms. They love their content. They love to hear them hurt you. They like hearing them hurt you. And these are the men that you let tell you that you can't have what you want? These people who make a living out of hurting people? Stop being impressed with everybody. Stop being so easily impressed with people who say they don't want you. That doesn't mean they're over you. Someone who rejects you, just because they reject you, doesn't mean they have a higher status than you. Write that down. Write it down. Just because someone rejects you doesn't mean they enjoy a higher status than you. I need for y'all to write that down and put it on your refrigerators. Maybe I need to put it on a cup. I don't know. The merch is coming. The merch is coming. Y'all give me a minute. I'm slow to the draw, but all of it is coming. We assume too much. We assume too much. You assume you don't have any control over you. You don't have where's your black girl magic? Where's your black girl magic? These dudes that talking all this stuff, who are they even satisfying? Are they intellectually, financially, or even sexually satisfying to anybody? I doubt it. I doubt it. Most of these dudes, dinglings, are charity. You know, your vagina is a charity. It's not an exchange. It's not an exchange. You're doing it because it's more of a duty than anything else. If you add up and tally up all your experiences with or every man you've ever slept with, how many of them was even worth the sacrifice? How many? And he wants to talk about the way you look. When every woman that he slept with has lied to him about being pleasured by him. Any man who's on this lie, let me let you know something. You don't know if you satisfying your girl. She could be hooting and hollering and screaming and clawing and biting and snot coming out the nose and all kinds of stuff. And get up from there, light a cigarette, call a friend. Girl, the dick was trash. Actresses are who you like. You know she don't like you, but you chase her around like the puppy dog that you are. You chase her around. Most of these men ain't hitting on anything, nothing, and got all of this stuff to say about your bad body build, and he'll blame his performance on how your body, how your whole body's set up. You'll have to take a L, take the blame for that too. A lot of these dudes ain't hitting on much of anything and got too much mouth, too much ego. And what you know what the truth is, you dudes that are watching here secretly? The truth is neither you nor me know for a fact that any woman that you've ever been with has actually been satisfied by you. Neither of us know that for a fact. Neither you nor me. Neither you nor me. Hello. Do we need to take a poll on this live about how many women fake being satisfied in bed? Why don't y'all raise your hand? Put a thumbs up if you ever faked it. To keep the peace. To get to get the bills paid. To get what he promised you. To get the insurance policy or the ring or whatever it is. To get money for the abortion. How many of y'all, smile through it and didn't want to be bothered? There's a whole bunch out here. A whole bunch. So you niggas need to have several seats. Several seats. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Because you don't know. You don't know. Why you talking about who you ain't sexually attracted to, and ain't nobody that been laid down with you ever woke up like, yeah, this was the best I ever had. He readjusted my intestines. You ain't readjusting nobody's intestines nowhere, and you got all this to say about who don't look like this and who don't look like that. When your name come up in conversation, everybody's giggling, but you got all this to say about who you not sexually attracted to. And the average man ain't hitting on no orgasm every time he hit. Hello. See, we're in this thing together. We have shortcomings and things that we wish we could improve, things that we don't like about ourselves. You know, we all have them. We all have them. And you guys, you know, just because you can get you a DR chick or whoever it is, whoever y'all chasing this week, doesn't mean you can outrun your status. You're still a Negro like me. You're still a Negro like me. Men do not have sex to please women. Men have sex to get our nut off. Here goes James is stating something here, you guys. Huddle in. We have sex to conquer the woman and her vagina. We don't, you girls know this. We don't, whatever that is. All right, James. I think you're stating a revelation here. And you're not stating anything that I haven't told these women. Whether they think I'm lying or not, that's another thing. But they've been informed about what you men are. They've been informed. Most men are insensitive and inconsiderate when it comes to pleasing women. You just don't care enough. You're not patient enough. You're not invested enough. In order for a man to care about you getting an orgasm, he has to be invested in you. And a lot of y'all are not allowing these men to be invested in you. Because you let him convince you that his dick is an exchange, an even exchange for your vagina, when it never is. It never is. Because more times than not, he walks away with a nut, whether he thinks you're attractive or not, he can nut. It don't matter if you smell like a star-kissed tuna, if you look like the Swamp Thing, he can nut. He can. So it's never an even exchange. And why also isn't it an even exchange? Because he can nut, walk away and never come back again, while you're left now feeling things. Now you're feeling emotion. After he nuts, whether you've been satisfied or not, it doesn't even matter. You're still emotional. After you get up off the bed, you're still you leave your heart on the bed, unless you're dead, which a lot of women are dead emotionally because of, continuous trauma, bad relationships, parenting, all that kind of stuff. A lot of women are walking dead also. But if you still have your antennas, and you still have at least one chamber of your heart left, you are going to be emotional after that encounter. You will. So it's not an even exchange. More times than not, you will lose. You are the one that's going to lose. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So I'm not telling you anything here to listen, I don't want you to feel discouraged. I don't want you to feel like, well, okay, what is the point to all of this? Because the information that I am secreting to you, right? I'm connecting you to this information. It's supposed to make you feel, it's supposed to calm you down. A lot of women are anxious because we feel out of control. We feel like we have no control over ourselves. We have no control. We don't have any say-so about anything. And the information that I'm giving you is supposed to help you to realize that, okay, this is not what I think it is. Like, all of this shit is a lie. Everything I believe is a lie. And once you've established or decided to agree that everything that you think is a lie, guess what you get to do? You get to build up your own truth. You get to rebuild with whatever it is you feel is true for you. If everybody that comes in your face is a liar, let's just say that, for instance, every dude that comes in your face is a liar, which is pretty much the truth. Then what does that mean for truth? What does it mean for you in terms of how you see yourself or how you want to see yourself? Because a lot of you don't want to change, you don't want to pivot, you don't want to start something new because you're afraid that he'll think you're a fraud. You're afraid of him thinking you're a fraud when he's a liar, when he's coming to you as a liar. You're all self-conscious about being different because you're afraid he'll find out whatever he'll find out when he's coming to you as a fraud. And that's the part, the fear of pivoting, the fear of being different is what I want you to get rid of. This self-consciousness that, I can't do this because what will people think? I can't change this because what will people say? What will he think? When everybody that's in your face is lying to you. That's the point. You're worried about nothing. Nothing. He's a fraud. Every dude that you've been with has been fraudulent in some sort of way. Everyone. And you scared to tell him, no, you don't want to have sex. Or that you'd like a bill paid. Or that, your goal is to get married. You don't want to tell him all these things because you're afraid he's gonna think some way about you. Listen, you've been juried already. As soon as someone sees your face, you've been tried and convicted already. I just need for you to know that. Don't I tell y'all ladies before that beautiful people get away with murder? A beautiful person, an attractive person can, and this is an actual fact, by the way. There's court documents, there's all kinds of psychological exposés that have been done about, court cases and who gets off and who doesn't. Unattractive people get convicted. They get the chair. Attractive people get lenient sentences. They get to walk free. If you're sitting on the stand playing damsel in distress good enough and you look halfway decent, you'll get off. You'll get a light sentence. Ain't that what happened to the girl that killed Botham John or whatever his name was last year or whatever that was? Beat down the man, went into his apartment, shot him dead, and she only got 10 years when she should have got the chair. Why? Because she played the victim, the damsel. Oh, we have to protect her. Beautiful women aren't capable of murder. Lies. And that's what you little nigglets don't understand. All these beautiful women that you're chasing that are so feminine. Oh, she could never do that. Look at her. She's so pretty. She could never be conniving like that because she's so beautiful. And I need to protect her. And she's plotting. She's buying burial plots for your ass. Insurance policies, all kinds of stuff. She planning the baby, and she planning when she gonna leave you after she give birth to the baby. All kind of diabolical plans going on with this beautiful feminine woman that you feel compelled to protect because she's such a beautiful, delicate flower. Meanwhile, all the strong-faced girls that will actually fall on a sword for you. You abuse them. Why do you abuse her? Because she's unattractive, so she can be abused. I can treat her bad. Look at her. She's ugly. So I can treat her bad. So you've been juried, ladies. And there's no need for you to feel self-conscious any longer. I need for you to get the fuck up. I need for you to get up and dust yourself off. And stop letting these dudes intimidate you with what they think you can get or not get and all that. They're jurying you. They're stating what they're sentencing you. That's all they're doing. They're sentencing you, and you just need to expect that. You need to expect that. When they have all these criticisms, oh, I've been sentenced. I'm sentenced to looking like a troll or whatever it is. I'm sentenced. Okay, I get it. Now what? You know what happens after that, sir? You still got to do what you got to do. You still got to do what you got to do. Because I'm only compliant when I get what I want. I'm only compliant when I get what I want. I will not lose. Not me. Not me. And that's how you gotta be. That's how you gotta be. Color Purple spelled this out. Sure did. Sure did. Color Purple had all kind of, the colorism thing, and the usual suspects. The usual suspects in there. Ugly men think they are all the time. Well, they don't see themselves as comrades in the struggle of, being treated as human beings. Ugly men join in on the, women hit the wall, women ain't this, we think too much of ourselves, and they've joined in with their comrades on I don't know, voicing their preference. Is that what it is now? They're just voicing their preference. It's not really colorism or anything like that. It's just, I just have a preference. I don't have to like you. I don't owe you a like, which is true. Which is true. They don't owe any of us a like. They don't. But it's the part where, what's the intent? Because when you're talking about it, there's an intention there. What is the intent? What do you get out of me not feeling good about myself? What's the trade-off for you? Because there's something in it for you. There's something in it for you. You're not just making fun of me for no reason. You're making fun of women like me. There's a trade-off there. There's some sort of exchange. There's some feeling of pride, a higher position of some sort of financial gain that you get from diminishing or attempting to diminish the value of certain types of women. What are you getting? What are you getting? That's the question. What they get is to feel superior. No, what they get is the illusion of superiority. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Perception is illusion. Perception is illusion. Perception is not truth. How I perceive something is just how I'm perceiving it based on how I feel about me. It's not the truth, though. The feeling of superior. What's a feeling? A feeling isn't a fact. It's not a fact. It's not. So y'all, that's pretty much it. That's what Mama Salkis got for y'all today. I wanted to come back on here and talk about this double standard thing with Jada and how women equally are dragging her through the mud. And I'm like, y'all really, when every dude y'all been with cheated on you, Every dude you've been with cheated on you. You done cheated on your husband too. You're a part-time hoe and you got all of this to say about, what she shouldn't have did, this, that, she's evil, she this and that. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. You think you got the high road because you only hold half the year? Because you only hold once back in 1990? You a reformed hoe so you could pass judgment now? You only hold behind the screen. You don't let nobody touch you, so you ain't like no real hoe. So you got all this to say because you hold for Zoom. You do your whole meetings behind a Zoom conference. So you think you got the moral high road? We don't need to do that. Jada's a boss. I'm gonna keep saying that. Jada's a boss, and this ain't me co-signing on her cheating. I really feel that. Listen, if you want to feel good, especially if you have money, you got money to travel and take up a new hobby or do something else. I don't know. I'd be trying to swim with dolphins or some shit like that. That would be me to try to cheer myself up. Do some crazy shit. Goddamn, climb Mount Kilimanjaro or something like that. Go hiking somewhere. Go running from the bulls or something like that in Rio. Where they do the running of the bulls at? I'd be out there doing the running of the bulls or something like that. I wouldn't be letting them dig in my cervix. That wouldn't be what I would do to cheer myself up. That wouldn't be me. But that's just me. That's just me. So it's not me endorsing that. It's not me endorsing that. It's just me saying it was handled sloppy, and but I think she if we're gonna give all these ball players and everybody else a reprieve, we're not canceling nobody else. None of these dudes that cheat and have whole other families across town on their wives and stuff. Then you could forgive her. You could forgive. Although truth be told, Jada don't look like she need nobody forgiveness now. She wasn't on that table talk like I'm sorry. She didn't apologize. Y'all know that, right? She didn't even apologize to her husband. She did not even apologize to Will. She was like, I'm not sorry. I think that's what she said. I'm not sorry that it happened. I learned so much about myself. Jada's a boss. And dude Will had to come back around and say, well, I realized I didn't have enough girth to satisfy you. Ain't that what Will said? Will said I didn't have enough girth. I knew I didn't have enough girth to satisfy you. I'm like, God damn it, Will. So she didn't apologize nor pull anybody down. It was beautiful. It was beautifully orchestrated. Beautifully orchestrated. And she still kept the secrets. She still kept his secrets sacred. Still. So it is what it is. But I'm like, if you dudes crying about how Jada manipulated, then if it's unfair what she did, it's unfair what all these dudes are doing. Not did, but doing. And if you're not condemning these men, I don't want to hear nothing about Jada. If you don't have that same energy for what these men do and the lives that they destroy, I don't want to hear nothing about Jada. Y'all go ahead and lock arms and say a prayer for their marriage and hope everything survives this. I hope everything survives. I hope they come out stronger because of this, actually. I hope they do. I hope they do. Life happens. Life happens. And they claim to have unconditional love for each other after a lot of water under the bridge. And it took a lot of mistakes and a lot of trial and error to get to that point. I already told y'all, that kind of love you don't get in the beginning. The love you get from a man in the beginning, a lot of it is keeping score. A lot of it's a keeping score kind of romance thing. It's very conditional. It takes time for love between a man and a woman to get unconditional. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of tears to get there. I don't know why it does, but it does. I don't know why it takes a lot of tears to get to the unconditional part, but it just does. It just does. August has a trunk in his drawers. Yes, we established that, most of his most of his arteries in his veins are in his dick. Most of August, his whole blood supply be channeling through that thing. But all that's overrated too. All that's big size and all that stuff. Like I said before, it's all for show. At the end of the day, it's all for show. It's all for show. All of it. Thank you for the donations. Super. Hi, suckers. Do you think dark-skinned women have a chance to win in the dating marriage market? Do I think that dark-skinned women... So I guess what you're implying is dark-skinned women don't have a chance in the dating and marriage market? And so the question would be, well, you're basing the assumption that you don't on what? On what? What men are saying? What these men are saying? A lot of men are talking. A lot of charismatic men are talking and saying what they don't want. That they don't want, dark-skinned women. And like I said, we raise a glass to them. We raise a glass to them because it means that they're not out here raping and pillaging and pretending like some of these other men are. So, but to say that any man could dictate what your chances are, a lot of you are unsure because men are telling you what your chances are, and you're believing what these men are saying. You're believing when they say you have no chance in hell. You're believing what they say. So you're essentially helping him predict your future. These men are predicting your future because they're making you worried. And you're going to act it out. You're going to act it out. There are overweight women who are married. There are unattractive women who are married. There are wheelchair-bound women who are married. There are mentally challenged women who are married. There are women with bad hygiene who are married. There are women who only have a high school diploma or GED that are married. There are women with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 kids who are married. And to me, if it can happen for one, it can happen for you. If what you want, whatever it is that you want, someone else, some other woman out here has it, then there's a possibility for you as well. The probability of it depends on your energy, though. You carry yourself with you. You don't ever leave yourself at home. You carry you with you wherever you go. And I said before, if you feel insecure, if you feel like there's no hope, that's going to be the tone of your conversation. That's going to be how you operate. That's your operating system. So how you take care of yourself reflects that. How you talk reflects that. What you do reflects that. Where you go reflects that. Who you screw reflects that. Outcomes change when you do. Outcomes change when you do. And that's just what it is. Dark-skinned women can be married. There's dark-skinned women that are, what is this now? Dark-skinned women, every dark-skinned woman is alone? Every dark-skinned woman is alone. Don't believe it, man. Don't believe it. If anyone is in Atlanta, let's connect. Yeah, hang out with Omega. Omega out there turning up in the ATL. The honest ones are the best ones. Men are the ones that propose. They aren't proposing to dark-skinned women like that. And that's across the board. Even then, some dark-skinned women will win. Well, I do know this. Women that are confident and secure within themselves have full, active lives. And they aren't worse for wear. They aren't lonely. So it's really, at the end of the day, there are statistics out here. But if you live by statistics, then everybody's doing. If we all said we're gonna just go by the stats, then what would be the point in trying? Are stats a determiner of your outcome, of what you can receive? No. A stat is an average, and there's a margin of error even in the stats. Even in the stats, they give a little leeway for error. So the numbers are not exact either. They're not exact either. So a lot of y'all are playing into the script of unwantedness. You're deciding to play that out. You hear it all the time, and you're like, well, I might as well be that. I might as well act like that. I might as well, be the reject that everyone says that I am. And then you become a statistic. Then you become that. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be don't live by statistics. Because if y'all were really about that, none of y'all would be having sex at all. If you were really about the stats, then everybody should be celibate. None of y'all should be eating pizzas and steaks. If we really want to deal with stats, have stats run our lives. There's stats for eating. What will cause coronary heart disease, stroke, cancer, STDs, unwanted pregnancies. There's stats for everything. So if you're going to live your life by a stat, then you need to go on ahead and accept all of it, like all of it. All of it. Yes, that's dark-skinned women are staying pregnant, though just not getting married. Listen, when you open your legs before you get the ring, you become a single mother. You more than likely will be a single mother. If you're opening your knees before the ring goes on your finger, that's what happens. This is not rocket science. Y'all be trying to tempt fate. And how many times you got to go through that same scenario to know a dude ain't gonna be with you long if you putting that out first? Haven't we established that? Nah, not true. What's not true? What's not true, AF? What is not true? Unfortunately, most dark-skinned women will end up single. A man chooses his wife. A wife allows herself to be chosen. Yeah, a man chooses his wife, but the wife allows herself to be chosen. Y'all don't get it. It's a belief. It's your belief. A lot of you like feeling helpless. Like I said, it's comfort. It's comforting to feel helpless, because then you don't have to do anything. Then you could blame somebody else. Then the responsibility is off your shoulders for the results that you get, because it's a they and a they and a they and a they. So, you know, I have no argument for a lot of you feel that it's helpless, and it is for you. It is for you. And that's just it. So don't be in conflict with what you believe. Whatever it is that you believe, just don't be in conflict with it. Don't be. Women are considered status symbols. Dark-skinned women are not considered to have status, which explains our marriage prospects. That's true. That's true. Women are status symbols. But I will say that a lot of women, the reason why a lot of women aren't married, there could be more women that are married if they didn't give it up so freely. If they didn't allow people to convince them. What I've been talking about for over an hour now. If you didn't allow people to convince you that lowballing was actually a virtue for you, then you would get a better result. You have to negotiate for what you want. Y'all sitting back just waiting for somebody to hand you something, and that's not how this goes. You have to protect your interests. You're waiting for him to treat you fairly. And that's not what men do. Period. And the only reason why pretty girls get taken care of is because they're pretty. It's not even that there's no fairness in that. And there's an expiration date on that. Because a pretty girl, after her first baby, she starts to decline. Her value starts to depreciate after the first nut, and then after the first baby, it depreciates a little more. Give it a little time, give a few years, and it depreciates more. So every woman goes through this thing. Y'all not listening. Every woman goes through this thing. You think I walk out my door and I walk around town with the energy of low status? No, ma'am. When I'm about town, I'm a human being. That's what I am. I'm a human being, and you're either we're going to have a respectful exchange, or we're not going to have an exchange at all. We're not going to have an exchange at all. And that's how it is. Y'all walk around here with your head hanging down. Woe is me. No, you know, you're ashamed of yourselves. And that's what you have to start admitting. Stop talking about statistics, and let's talk about what it really is. You're ashamed of yourself. And that's why you have the results that you have. And until you knock that shame dust off of you, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You got to knock the shame. You got to wash the shame off of you. We don't admit these kind of things. It's like, it's them. No, it's not. No, it's not. Wait, let me put my glasses on for this shit. Pretty women are able to leverage their beauty to secure a man with resources. Dark-skinned women are unable to do that because men of means aren't interested. Okay, so that's your conclusion. Now, what are you going to do with that? Are you dark-skinned? Super nift? What are you? I don't know if you're male or female. What are you? Are you dark-skinned? Are you a dark-skinned woman? Who am I talking to? We are at the bottom together, but still love to act superior to each other. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. All this bottom, top, middle, this and that, and oh my God, y'all don't understand the illusion of it all. Oh, okay, you blocked them. All right. All right. This is what people believe, though. This is what people believe, that we are nothing, and it's okay. It's okay. You're juried. You're juried, and from that point, understanding that you're already juried when people see your face, now you have to speak up for yourself. Now you have to speak up for yourself, and not assume that because, what's the word I'm looking for? That because, the flattery element is not there as strong for you. We're not assuming that every relationship we get into is devoid of value because somebody doesn't find us super duper sexually appealing and that sort of thing. Because the true love that you want is over time anyway. You're not going to get that right away. You're not going to get that right away anyway. So that's what it is. That's what it is. A lot of y'all trying to be unforgettable aesthetically. And total waste of time. Because I want to stop feeling ashamed of myself, but it's extremely hard. Yes, because you've been programmed to feel the way you feel for pretty much your entire life. And like I said, a lot of y'all feed that feeling of shame with what you consume, with the men that you hear. Listen, I know the spaces y'all converge in. I see y'all there. And you submerge yourselves in ideologies that don't support you and wonder why you feel jacked up. And you wonder why you feel jacked up. You feel jacked up because your whole lifestyle supports a certain ideology. You got to understand, this is not a one-off. I don't just think the way I think and it doesn't affect how I eat, how I sleep, how I dress, where I go, who I talk to, who I sleep with, who my friends are. How I am affects every aspect of my life. There is no one-off. There isn't, I'm just ashamed here, and it doesn't permeate through every aspect of your life. It's impossible for it not to. It's impossible for it not to. So you have to understand it's a concerted effort. It's a total 360. When you're trying to change your mind about certain things, it's a total 360. You have to look at your diet. You have to look at who your associations are. You have to look at your stress levels at work. You have to look at the projects that you let go or decided you weren't good enough to undertake. It's all of these things. All of it. It's not just men don't like me. Listen, it's not just black men don't like me. And that's it. That part of my life is jacked up. That black men don't like me ends up on your plate. It ends up on your dinner plate. It affects what you choose to eat for dinner. It affects what you watch on TV. It affects what you read. It affects how you communicate with your boss at work. It affects how often you go to church. It affects how you raise your kids. It affects your health. Even the way I speak is ugly. I even, I'm even too ashamed to open my mouth sometimes. All right, well, it sounds like you and I need a private conferencing together to help you uncover and unpack some of that. That's what it sounds like. Who is the Black Order? My advice is find men when I know what my issue is. I don't want an ugly man. I like model types, but learning, I'm going to have to take an ugly dude and go on about my life. Well, my personal advice to UGC women is that you ditch the having a type thing. The having a type thing. I think you need to be an equal opportunity employer in that regard. I think you need to see the merit in everybody. I think you need to see past the outer shell, just like they got to see past the outer shell in you. I think you need to be a master at seeing beneath the surface of people and sniffing out their real virtue and their real value. So having a type when you're an ugly girl does not serve you. You limit your potential even further, and you wind up really doing what people have done to you. People judge you your whole life on how you look, and you want them to take out the time to see past your skin suit, to see past that and see all the goodness that is you. You're hoping someone gives you a shot and isn't superficial in that way. So I think what you're hoping other people will do for you, you should give that as a charity first. Look beneath the surface of everybody, whether they're attractive or not. I'm not saying you can't have somebody attractive, but to have a type, like he's got to be this and he's got to be this tall or this big or this, I don't know. I don't know. Attraction is attraction, though. You deserve to be with a man you're attracted to, but only if you believe you deserve it. Attraction is garbage. If you think there's any value in attraction, then y'all haven't been hearing nothing, absolutely nothing that I've said. Like nothing that I've said. Then y'all do what y'all just do what men do. Judge you superficially, take advantage, and go about their business. How long does attraction last? UGC. Attraction lasts as long as it takes to ejaculate. Then the attraction declines. What have I just been saying for almost 2 hours? What have I been saying about desire for almost 2 hours? Lord have mercy. This is why y'all get nowhere. This is why it's a spinning wheel. This is why. Selfish, you're right. Attraction dies after a while. It always does. Attraction always dies after a while. So there it is. Just Be Real says it lasts 3 to 8 months. About that. It's about a year. It's less than a year. It's really less than a year. If you've be with someone, anybody, more than a year, it's a decline after that. So do we, are we going to be smart enough not to lead with that? Are we gonna if we gonna be smart? I don't know. Maybe that ain't the goal. Y'all just want to be fuckable to somebody, right? Y'all just want to be fuckable to somebody. I know people who had arranged marriages. They all told me love comes. I do too. I do too. I do too. I know a couple of people who've had arranged marriages, and they said it wasn't a right away thing, but you grow on each other, and in time and things, events happen, and you get close. I'm 5'9" and can't take guys too short seriously. See, that's to me, that's lunacy. That's lunacy. There's as long as he's not insecure about his height with you, you should be able to. You just don't want to deal with people who are insecure. That would be the turn off there. That's crazy. So he has to be 6 feet, and then what? You see shorter men as children? Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's that. There's that. Percy says, Selkis, I love you. Can you give me a shout out? Those dreads. Oh my God. Thank you, Percy, for your $5 donation and your love and energy. You are appreciated. I'm glad you are lending your support to the channel. Percy's here all the time now. He's like a brother to us here, so I appreciate him. I'm 5'1", but he gotta be 6 feet. Really? So you need somebody 6 feet too? All these 6 feet. What's that about? I'm 5'1". Okay, another one of y'all is 5'1". So I'll take all the short men y'all y'all don't want. India says she rolling with Stephanie Mills' height. Stephanie Mills, what, 4'11"? Ain't Jada Pinkett about 4'11" too? She tiny too. So India's like, I'll take them all off your hands. Listen, y'all, don't, I know y'all gonna do what you want to do, but don't have a type. Don't limit yourself. There's all kinds of guys out here that will give you the world, and you're telling me that if he's 5'6" or 5'7" or something like that, you won't give him a shot? Don't do that. Don't do what people do to you. If you think about all the times where you just wanted somebody to look past what was going on out here, I don't understand why you would even have a type. I guess that's just my logic. That's just my logic. I know all the sugary goodness that is me, that has been passed up before, because I look like goddamn Caesar from the Planet of the Apes to some people, right? Just saying. And I'm like, I could be this, and I could be that, and I could help them do this, and I'm looking like I'm ready to help, and he can't see past this. I know what that feels like. When I know that I'm qualified, overqualified, but they can't see past this. Y'all don't do it. Don't Do it. Don't do it. Just be open. Don't close yourself off. Be open. Did you see Tariq Nasheed's theory on Jada? He said she's from Maryland. Maryland used to be one of the biggest breeding farms for slaves. A lot of incest, and Jada looked at August as a son. Really? Wow. Well, I don't know what to say to all of that. I don't have a defense or really a response to all that. I guess that's what he got out of it, and that's that. That's that. I stated what I thought about, uh, the situation. And like I said, women have a harder time. Women don't get a reprieve. When women have accidents and slip-ups, there's all kinds of convoluted theories, all kinds of demonization that goes on with women who use their beauty to quote unquote beguile men. Women all through history have been demonized for that. From Medusa to Aphrodite to who name them. All the female deities are demonized for luring men to their demise, to their death. Beautiful women are always demonized for that, right? She's a succubi, a femme fatale. Beautiful women always killers, potential killers because of their beauty. But the men still want them. Nefertiti, Cleopatra. That's right. All of them. You said I strongly disagree with Tariq's assessment. Tariq is hard on black women. You should factor that in. He be talking real greasy about black women. Well, like I said, in general, a lot of people feel Jada should just go to the guillotines, go to the gas chamber for what she's done. While men, we understand when men do it because men are just being men, right? Men are just being men, and that's that double standard thing there. When men destroy women's lives, we still have an understanding that well, it's just being a man, just doing what men do, and it shouldn't be that way. He said Will is definitely a bussy bandit. That is a known secret in Hollywood. Will's breakout movie 6 Degrees. Oh, okay. Well, I heard that theory too. I've heard that theory too. We don't know for sure. We don't know. I don't know. They said that Jada was bisexual too. So I don't know. There's a lot of people doing all kinds of things. There's a lot of people like all kinds of things. There's a lot of people that are heterosexual in the day and bisexual and pansexual and or whatever at night. There's a lot of people living double and triple and quadruple lives out here. It's a whole bunch. So we don't know. We don't know. They said Will Smith's been on Epstein's island repeatedly. Is that right? All right, maybe that's coming out. I think who was it? Chris Tucker was on that plane passengers manifest too, to the island too. Chris Tucker and a couple other people. There's a whole bunch of names. So we'll see if this thing's come out. Then whose hands are clean after the smoke clears? We won't know. We won't know. Yeah, Jada said she was going to go to Ellen DeGeneres if it didn't. She was going to go to Ellen DeGeneres if it didn't work out with Will. Kareem said, like my artwork. What are you talking about? I'm a counselor. Sometimes having couples, 60-plus-year-old men leaving their wives for relationships with men is becoming more common. Ooh, y'all heard that? Tess says, I'm a counselor. Sometimes having couples, 60-plus-year-old men. Did y'all hear the age? 60-plus-year-old men leaving their wives for relationships with men is becoming more common. All right. All right. There's a lot of people living lives out here. A whole bunch. Remove Jada and Will from the scenario. We want to analyze them and not the situation. There are so many couples who go through this. Absolutely. There really is nothing special, particularly unique about their situation. You live with somebody long enough, and you don't want to be with them. You have times where you just don't want to be with them anymore. I tell y'all this all the time. This is you prepare for the rainy day. We call it a rainy day over here at the UGC, and you prepare for it. Yes, my cousin is a psychologist, and the story she tells about folks coming out is something else. That D don't even work at 60. They're going to be in the room popping pills like Andrew Gilliam. Lord have mercy. You don't drop Andrew Gilliam name. What he done to you? What he done to you? Yeah, the pill poppers, somebody told me, this was 15, maybe 20 years ago. I had a client who's a nurse, and she was saying that there was a surge in STDs and STIs in the nursing homes because of Viagra. And this was about 15, 20 years ago I was hearing this. She was like, Earl, before nursing homes, you didn't hear about all these people having all this disease. Now, STD, STIs circulating in the nursing homes. I was like, good golly molly. Good Lord. Like, can you imagine being your whole life, you disease free, only to end up in a nursing home and you need goddamn, I don't know, you need a diaper and penicillin. Lord have mercy. I believe that's why a lot of men hate women, because they really want to be with men and society doesn't allow that. Well, I believe this, some of that is a problem. A lot of frustrated people out here, frustrated with their sexuality, and they do take it out on people that they're supposed to care about. I do believe quite a bit of that does go on. Unfortunate but true. Unfortunate but true. So, does a man who smokes cigarettes considered as being fair? Huh? Does a man who smokes cigarettes considered as being fair to all men? I know you teach us standards, but can the line blur? I'm not sure what you mean. Does a man who smokes cigarettes considered to be fair to all men? What do you mean by that? Can you restate the question? People need to worry more about their corona relationships. And that part too. There's a lot of babies going to be born. There's a lot of pseudo relationships going on out here because people are in quarantine and, their pickiness has gone down a little bit because they need shelter and food. and bills paid. So people are just kind of putting up with things right now until the smoke clears. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Did you see the backlash Amara La Negra got when she revealed her hairline under those Afro wigs? They roasted her so bad for her lack of edges. She has a great skin though. I saw the pictures of her, and it's just her hairline is just, it doesn't look like her edges have been taken away by anything. It looks like her natural hairline just begins a little further back. But people, women were real nasty. They said a lot of nasty things to her, about her, and this is why y'all listen. I talked about her before too. This is why this whole beauty thing is a game. Nobody loves you. You cute today because you got the makeup and the lashes and the wigs and the girdle and the heels and the toenails painted and blush and bronzer and all that kind of stuff. And after you take all that off, then what? Then what? Then they hate you again. Then they hate you again. It's all a game. What do you think about online dating? Is it safer route during these times? It's mixed. Some people, I've known some people who actually got married from dating online, and then I hear nightmare stories. I've heard some nightmare stories. A couple of people caught diseases from people fooling around with people they met online. So I've heard happily ever after, and I've heard nightmare stuff too. So I can't really say. All I can say is be careful however you do it, whether it's online or not. You have to be careful. So because these Instagram filtered perfect pics, do you think changes our perception of beauty? Of course it does. Of course it does. Now you gotta, women are forcing themselves to look like plastic, to look unreal. The more unreal she looks, the more supposedly feminine she appears now. So it's altering our perception of beauty itself, And then when you see a natural girl, you think you think something's wrong with her. Because there's no Instagram filter, bronzer, wigs, and all of that. Selfish, you stated that we shouldn't be picky against men when we are ugly too. So for example, should we consider dating men who smoke cigarettes as an option as to not be picky? Well, now you're dealing with health. I'm talking about aesthetics. When you're talking about vices, like cigarettes and cigarettes are like drugs to me. To me, they're no different than any other drug, and I don't think that's in the category of superficiality. I think that now we're talking about health, because someone who smokes cigarettes is coming with health issues or soon to be health issues. And if you're around it enough, you'll probably develop health issues as well. So that's not in the same category. I don't think that's being picky. Anything that could affect your health is not then it's not superficial any longer. That's something, that's a priority. That's a criteria that needs to be met. Smoking cigarettes is a health risk. And if you're around it, you're risking your health too. So if you don't want to be around it, you're entitled to say, you know what, I don't want anybody who smokes. It'll be the same as me saying I don't want anybody who snorts cocaine. I don't want to be around anybody who snorts cocaine. And equally, I don't want to be around anybody who smokes cigarettes. A drug is drug is a drug. A drug is a drug is a drug. So to me, there's that. No, you wouldn't be picky. You would be smart. There. Lois said, I love weed. Naya Rivera's situation is really sad. She probably offed herself because she aged out of Hollywood. No more profound acting roles. She was only 33, but that's old in the industry. Is that the girl that they found in the ocean or somewhere? She was missing for a couple of days. She was on some show called Glee or something like that. I don't really know anything about her. I don't really know anything. I've never even seen her before, so I couldn't really say one way or the other. Hollywood has a short shelf life. It does. It does have a short shelf life, and it's very hard for women to stay relevant. It is. So, that's why y'all again, if your theory about it is true, that she offed herself because she's aging out of Hollywood, listen, we got to be more than how we look. You know how many women need UGC? Every woman does. Okay? Every woman does. You would off yourself because you're too old. You're not sexually appealing anymore. So your life should end. Your life should end. And I saw pictures of her. There's nothing wrong with her. I mean, there's no reason. If that would not have been a justifiable reason to off, if it's about looks. Oh Lord, this thing. They said, she was going through depression, and she was the standard beauty mix, light skin, long hair, all that. Still gone. V and everybody else, y'all, how many times I gotta say it's an illusion? It's an illusion, okay? It's an illusion. So, yeah. All right, y'all. I think we've come to the end of this thing. I want y'all to self-reflect. Self-reflect on your value, your worth, how you're going to convey that in your day-to-day dealings, in your interactions with other people. How are you going to make yourself memorable and unforgettable? If you can't do it with the face that you have, how else are you going to do that? How are you going to become outstanding? How can you become irreplaceable? What can you do to carve a path in this world for yourself? Stop obsessing over the way that you look. Eat healthy, exercise, drink water, get some sun. Anything else outside of that is just extra. It's really just extra. Are you nurturing yourself? Or are you going to run to men for comfort like Jada did? And here we are. Here we are. She ran to him to feel good, and he stabbed her in the back. He wound up stabbing her in the back anyway. That's how that ends. That's how that ends. You don't run to men to feel good about yourself. Men are incapable of making you feel good about yourself. They can give you pleasure, but they can't heal you. I think that's the lesson here. They can't heal you. At least that's not their intent. That's not their intent. So there's that. They said she was in the wrong for grooming him. I told y'all before, if Jada was single, if Jada and Will actually got a divorce, do you think August or whatever his name is would be with Jada right now? Do you think they would have lasted any length of time had she been free and clear to be with him? No. 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 All that's a joke. All this he's broken up because y'all have compassion for men that you don't have for women. And that's a woman's downfall. We worship men and are suspicious suspicious, jealous, and very hard on other women. That's what we do. All the time. All types of dudes out here ruining women's lives. And y'all ain't canceling them. Y'all still buying their albums. Y'all still going to their games. Y'all still in their DMs. Y'all still doing all that shit. And you don't have any understanding for Jada. You don't have any understanding for her. That's what we do. That's what we do. All right, y'all. So let me let y'all go. It's getting dark out here. I gotta go wind down now. You said they're acting like August is a victim. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I don't understand that. Y'all women you gotta check yourselves, man. You gotta check yourselves. There ain't no victims in that thing. If August was a girl, you say she was a fast ass home wrecker. That's what you be. If August was a girl, you would be blaming her. You would have said she plotted that. She came there to break up Jada and Will's marriage. That's what you would say if it was a girl. If August was a 22-year-old girl, you would have said she plotted that whole thing out to befriend them so that she could try and ruin Will and Jada's marriage. Women are full of shit. All day, twice on Sundays. Women are full of shit. All this compassion for dick. Y'all have all this understanding for dick. And condemn vaginas. Knowing what you do with yours. Got all this condemnation for vaginas, knowing what you do with yours. Is a love spell a fragrance? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's an actual fragrance that I whipped up myself. I put my chemist hands to work and put it together. So if you want to get some, let me know. Put your order in. And I will prepare you a special brew. It's prayed over and everything. You anoint yourself with it. It's ritual. And we have to get back into ritualizing everything. Y'all, you have to get into the rituals of things. Everything has a purpose. Everything you do needs to be purposeful. You said this smells the bomb love spell. Yay. Thank you, Sweet K. That's what you need to do. So put your orders in. The love spell is still for sale. I be so busy promoting everything and forgetting about all the other stuff like that. So y'all need to get some. Go to the uglygirlsclub.com and click on the shop, and you'll see it right there, and you can order it. Yes, do nothing without intention. Nothing without intention. Before you start a conversation, pause for a moment and say, what's my intent here? Before you say agree to something, say, what's my intent here? Before you eat a plate of food, what's my intent here? I mean, intention is everything. Does it smell like Victoria's Secret love spell? I don't know what Victoria's Secret love spells smell like. I doubt that it does. I use essential oils in my potions. So I don't think it's similar to that at all. I think it's incomparable, actually. That's just me, though. All right, so y'all go to theUglyGirlsClub.com and become a member of the site. Does it smell like a marriage? You're funny. You're funny. Whatever chemistry you have that mixes with it, and your belief will make it a marriage. You got to put your intentions into it. You got to put your own body chemistry into it, into whatever it is that you do. To be a conjurer, you need your own thoughts. You need strong sense of concentration skills and all of that mixed in. All of that. Thank you, Emma. Thank you. So I think that's it. That's it, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for coming out with me for 2 hours together. And everyone that donated to Super Chat. If you also want to donate, Cash App is preferred. My Cash App link, Rosemary, you can put my Cash App link on there if you want to send me a couple dollars as a thank you gift for these two hours of love and wisdom and life-altering information. You can definitely do that. Thank you, Nia. Thank you, Nia. Thank you, Lola. Thank you, Rosemary. Thanks, everybody. Listen, any of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that now. There's 163 people on this live. Like up the stream. Subscribe to the channel to support the channel and the work. If you believe in the philosophy of the channel, if you're getting any sort of usage out of what you're hearing here, support. Just give your support. Do you know of any locksmiths in Chicago? No, unfortunately not. I don't know anybody's doing anything as far as hair these days. Nothing. All right? And that's it. Get your testimonials in and your pictures in if you want to show the world that you're in support of this and you're not ashamed of it. Then get your pictures in and stuff like that too. All right? Can y'all like up the stream? A few more likes before I go. That would be great. A few more likes before I go would be awesome sauce. Please. Before y'all go to, who is it y'all like? Kevin Samuels or whoever else y'all watch. Before y'all go to his channel, just like up my stream. Somebody made a video today talking about Jada is an energy vampire. And she used fake deep lingo to fool the public when she's just feasting on men for blood. This is what they do. Now she's, women are vampire, and when men do it, they're just being men. Women are witches and warlocks and all that stuff. But when men do it, men have whole babies and whole wives across town. And they're not energy vampires. They're not energy vampires. And they got a whole nother family in two states and across the Atlantic Ocean. But somehow they're just human beings, fragile human beings, who couldn't resist. But Jada got to be a witch. She got to be a witch. Number one, because she's old. Number two, because she's a woman. Y'all stop feeding into that, and stop letting these men talk you into going along with that narrative. That's a joke. That's a joke. These men are raping and pillaging all day long, and ain't nobody calling them vampires, which is exactly what they are. So don't get into that. Don't get into that. Jada wanted to feel good. She told you what she wanted. I just wanted to feel good. It was a long time since I felt good. And she said that without stuttering, without, bowing her head. She looked Will straight in his eye and said, "It was a long time since I felt good. I just wanted to feel good." So there it is. There it is. She said what she said. That's right. She said what she said. She said what she said. All right, so y'all, let me go. Let me go hydrate and wind down. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for riding with me, supporting the channel, supporting the movement, supporting the philosophy, spreading the word, actually, utilizing the information that you get here, because I get the feedback. Y'all be emailing me, Selkers, I tried it, I did what you said, and guess what? What you said is exactly what happened. I get those emails all day long. All day long. So y'all make me proud. Y'all make me proud. All right, so I might be on tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see if I have something to talk about. I'll jump on here tomorrow. I've tried to do the schedule thing. It never works, so I'm just playing it by ear. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace and love. Love y'all. Bye.